Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We're going to be playing on Crossing in the Woods. We have a 1v1 here. The first 1v1 I'm going to be casting. Let's go through the players, shall we? We have Cringe here, fighting for the Soviet side. Without having picked a commander yet. And we have Lucky, playing as the Waffen-SS. Playing already as SS propaganda tactics. This is going to be a fascinating engagement early, I think. This could turn into quite something. I'll have to keep an eye on what Cringe decides to pick, but he's already getting conscripts out. And it looks like Lucky's just getting out, Volksturm. So I assume this is some river crossing in eastern Germany. The Germans are desperately trying to hold against the advancing Soviets. We have the Soviet vanguard coming in here. Oh yeah, we're just getting a lot of Volksturm out coming up from Lucky here. This could become a very interesting little battle. He's likely using Volksturm because they're cheap and allows him to cover more of the front line. Because if he went for Sturm Grenadiers, he would be unable to cover much of the front line in the 1v1. He has a lot to cover after all. Here we have our first engagement here. The Volksturm are having a firefight with the conscripts. And we have even more Volksturm coming in. Is Lucky just going for full-on Volksturm? This could backfire later on. Potentially. Volksturm are not the most competent infantry, but they do allow the SS to get a field presence. Let's see. We still only have 3 conscripts from Cringe, and he's not picked a commander yet. But Cringe now knows what his enemy has gone. Because it's very hard to mistake Volksturm. Oh, and it looks like the Storm Pioneers might go down. Oh, he might get away. The Storm Grenadiers got away. Wow. In return, I don't think the Sappers... No, the Sappers died. Oh, this is a big hit for Cringe early on. Looks like Lucky's gonna take the advantage here. But Cringe is going for some Fontoviki to try and show up his front line immediately after this loss. Fontoviki should be able to tear through the Volksturm a lot easier. This was a really good start for Lucky, but he's going for 5 Volksturm squads. That is a lot of the reserve infantry. The Volksturm are not going to be able to last that long in later engagements, unless he gets the good upgrades. But it's going to allow him to dig in a lot and set up a defensive line, although he needs to capture some of these points. Soviets have not picked the commander yet, nope. But we do have the Fontoviki now on the field. These are actual combatant Soviet troops. But these guys should be able to take out the Volksturm with these. So the Volksturm are trying to make a push here. Conscripts are quickly moving up to try and get in cover here. But that's out in the open. They're gonna get mowed down if they stay out there. But the Volksturm are getting shut down too out there. We have more long-range engagement going on, with the Fontoviki coming up behind these sandbags and firing at the Volksturm. Looks like we have a tech up going on for Lucky. He's getting his truck. I think the Soviets should invest in potentially get some more Fontoviki soon instead of just conscripts. That's just my own opinion. Some pioneers are moving around. Looks like the Germans are finally able to try and take the field down here by using the Volksturm. Cringe really needs to pick a commander soon. That'll allow him to give him something to fight these guys. Ah, it looks like the Fontoviki have been armed with a DP. DPM, as it's called, actually. This should allow them to pull down a lot more firepower on these Volksturm. The Soviets are taking heavy losses. He also needs to reinvest in some sappers to try and get construction back and going. Yeah, but the Fontoviki is starting to show its worth now with the DPM. We have an MG coming in. That might be an MG8 or an MG34. It's an MG34. So a proper machine gun for the Volksturm holding this front line. On this desperate river crossing against the advancing Soviets. So many Volksturm. I don't think I've ever seen this many Volksturm in a 1v1 just like this before. Looks like we have a machine gun coming in from the Soviets. A Maxim. We have the conscripts moving southwards, and the Fortoviki are now finally pulling back. They start to take too many losses. Need to see where that MG-34 goes, though. This one is armed by actual SS Grenadiers, so these guys are a lot more competent at firing than the Volkssturm. The Volkssturm are slowly trying to creep up here and using more cover. Oh, we have the Soviets. I'm not sure what the Soviets are going to plan on doing, but that MG-34 is going to mow down those guys. That was quite evident. Oh, but the conscripts actually moved up to get on the flank on the Volkssturm here. Looks like the Maxim is coming up. Question is where it's going to be placed. And that squad's on the wrong side of the cover. Cover is directional. We did decapture it though, which is a start. Maxim is coming up. We have another Fantoviki squad coming as well. So it looks like this conscript squad will sacrifice to capture the point. Now the Maxim is coming up. We have an Untersturmführer coming out for the SS. Good job with that Maxim. Gonna be able to cover that easily. But an artillery strike is being called in by the Untersturmführer. Looks like just a normal border barrage, 8cm. Not the most dangerous weapon. Oh, so the Soviets have secured that side of the river again. We have another Fantoviki being armed with a DPM. DPM is a good choice. We have some Volkssturm Panzerjägers coming out. These are intriguing. These are essentially a Volkssturm squad who has the ability to stealth. And instead of having like a Panzerstreak on them immediately, they can do a Panzerfaust assault where they all fire a Panzerfaust. That's really devastating. Looks like the MG-34 is in a position here, staying alongside the Untersturmführer. We have a little bit of an actual SS force there. I do not think the Volkssturm are going to last long against all these Fantoviki that might be coming their way. We also have a mortar coming out for the Soviets. Still no commander choice. I wonder what he's planning. You also take extra damage while you're setting up defenses. Looks like the Maxim got some shots off here, huh? Mortar's moving up. Conscripts tried to get closer. They throw a Molotov! Ooh, hitting the Panzerjägers, but only on the edge of them. It's allowed the Fantoviki to move up. And now the Fantoviki can start mowing down the Volkssturm. Look at the unit difference. Oh, that DPM just cut down a lot of the Volkssturm right there. That's a dead squad, I think. Yeah, it's dead. Looks like the Fantoviki are really showing their worth now. We have the mortar coming up from Cringe here. We're just gonna threaten this SS position. But we have more 8cm coming down to try and move the Soviets. And our conscript squad has been called in. The Panzerjägers actually are getting kills with their rifles, surprisingly. Those Fantoviki might want to pull back. They're down to 3 mana, that's a lot of rifles, even if they suck at aiming. We have another conscript force here. Problem is, where will they try to go for? Looks like they might try and go over here. Yes, that's attacking up again. And we have another Soviet push coming, but the MG-34 could turn around. That's a crossfire zone. And that's a good grenade! Except that sandbags took most of it. But the conscripts are still gonna die. Oh, but a Volkssturm and choke! Oh, they mowed down that Volkssturm squad! Good attempt by the Soviet here, but not enough. Soviets losing a lot of troops to all these attempts. But the DPM armed Fantoviki are still gonna provide a threat. Where's the mortar? It's not a mortar firing. You might want to try and wait for a direct barrage right at that point. We have some Volkssturm trying to move up here. The Maxim is opening fire. But MG34 should be able to kill it in that position. Oh, he cannot fire back? He moved just in time for the direct shot to miss. But he did get some kills. You know, the Volksturm are moving up again. We have more conscripts and another Fontoviki squad. Who's also being armored with DPM. He's going for a lot of DPMs, which is a good choice against what he's fighting in this situation. He's also not picked a command that allows him other options yet. Like if you went Tank Destroyer, he would be armed with PPSH 41s, which can prove to be really devastating in most cases. I'm most surprised Cringe has not picked a commander yet. Oh, and that Volksturm squad is gonna get mowed down.
Commander abilities ready.
And they're not gonna get out of there. The Volksturm are almost all down. But we have some 3rd SS Panzergrenadier veterans on the field now. This is a really good squad. You would only have one of them on the field at a time, and they are like really good in veteran. They can essentially show up your front line so well. You have a mortar firing again. Oh, that's a good shot at the veterans! And the veterans are down! Oh, now that is a huge investment just immediately gone there for Lucky. The Soviets are pulling this battle back. This battle back. There's some more 8cm mortar coming in from the Understurmführer. Right on the Maxim. He needs to move the Maxim. He's not gonna move in time. He might not have noticed. Ooh, but he might be lucky. Oh, but his cover's gone. That could have been way worse, though. Oh, the mortar took out the MG? Oh, it looks like Lucky is in a bad position now. Using the more Fontoviki armored DPMs is really showing its worth now against the Volksturm. The Volksturm just don't have the survivability or the equipment to handle this. They need to be supported by actual SS troops. The Untersturmführer is still in the field, though. Trying to desperately hold this area. But he's not gonna hold on against so many troops, Soviet troops on his own. They might be preparing for a charge. Yeah, he might be charging. That is too much for him to handle. He needs to get out of there. And indeed he orders a retreat. But the Soviets are right up at the trucks now. Problem is, I don't think the conscripts have a lot of equipment that can deal with these. Let's see how the great assaults do. Never mind. That seems to actually work well. Destroying one of Lucky's trucks entirely. And then the other one in quick succession with this attack. Oh, but most of them missed. Oh, but they got rid of it. Ooh, this is gonna pull Lucky back a lot. He's gonna be able to rely on a lot of reserve units. And he's getting his taking back immediately, obviously. That's the risk reward of playing the SS in this. Ooh, what's Lucky gonna do with these few units he has left here? And we got more troops coming out for Cringe. He's actually first now getting a Sabot replacement. Because he's been hammering Lucky this much just in Tier 1, really. This is what Moment 1s can turn out to be like. He can really slow down taking. Look how many troops he has compared to Lucky at this time. But he still has no officer. Oh right, because he hasn't picked a commander. That's obviously why he has no officers. Not sure what the flanking placement is doing, but seems to be working. We have a minefield laid here by the Germans, which the Soviets could end up walking into. The CPM squad has to pull back. The Sturm Pioneers are actually competent fighters, unlike the Volksturm. You might want to set that truck up here instead, or somewhere a little bit safer. Or he's setting up in the base, I think, which is also a wise move. Generally, you don't want to sometimes risk having it outside, especially in such small maps. And those Volksturm are not going to be able to do much there. Did he actually take up? No, he did not actually take up. What is Cringe doing? Oh, he's getting minesweepers. That's what they're there for. Looks like Cringe is relying mostly entirely on the Tier 1 force. He did kick Lucky back to Tier 1 himself, so... but we have more veterans on the fields. Being armed with an LMG-42. and camouflage training. Now that unit, once it gets to the front, behind heavy cover, with a proper weapon, can decimate most other infantry squads with ease. Versus what else is he going to arm them with, because they have a lot of versatility.
Command vehicle has converted to a static building.
These sappers going to try and get rid of the mines while under fire, which is not an easy thing to do. Yeah, he moves straight for cover instead. The Panzerjägers are somewhat getting kills just with their rifles. They have to pull back. The veterans are still getting on with the LMG. He's getting, I think that's the Stormtrooper? Yeah, he's getting some Stormtroopers to try and complement his force. I'm not too sure what propaganda gets for the Stormtroopers. We'll have a look when they run the field. Now we have the veterans armed with the LMG-42 though, which is going to improve their long-range capabilities. So it's going to be in for a hard time if they push up on them. Untersturmführer is still in the field here. Trying to fight alongside the Storm Pioneers. The front line is still very static in design. What can they be armed? Oh, they can be armed with the SBVC-30, which is a Czech machine gun. Which is an intriguing choice for them. Allows them to essentially have an LMG, which normally the Stormtroopers don't normally get. Pretty decent, actually. The SS are slowly trying to push up here, but they don't have enough good cover here. Wait to see what he decides. Oh, he does something with the SBVS-30. Very fascinating. It's only a 20-round magazine, though. That's an intriguing weapon. Looks like the veterans are being ordered to hold this area on their own. They probably have the capabilities to. But Mortar might be aiming for something. Ah, he's smoking it and then he's going to charge. So we have a conscript charge coming up now. Using the smoke to cover. And he's immediately going to have to pull these guys back. That's too much for even that veteran squad to handle while the front line is being concealed. That's too late. The Soviets are going to pass through the smoke now. They need to stop and fire. That's a grenade. He needs to move. He does have the Stormtroopers now, though, armed with the LMG. That's actually a really good LMG, surprisingly. The fact that Stormtroopers can get it. Normally Stormtroopers don't get LMGs. Let's see. Germans are still slowly trying to take up again. The Soviets finally teched up the tier 2. Still not picked the commander though. At this point it doesn't look like he needs it. He's doing oh well, but okay without one. Okay, we see a Panzerbüchse 39 for the Panzerjägers here. Probably anticipating some kind of light vehicle, but it doesn't look like that Prince is gonna go for vehicles at all currently. He's going for assists, probably fearing a German vehicle. But I don't think Loki have the supplies to even get vehicles out at this point. And the Stormtroopers are firing with their Czech LMG. Reloading it. That's a mortar shell coming in. Yeah, he knew to move. Very smart. He heard the mortar shell firing. Untersturmführer is still present. And a lot of Volksturm around. Ooh. That's not good. Yeah, they'll need to pull back there. Good job with the mortar barrage though, but the Soviets have secured the side of the river here. Germans will need to find a way to push them back. Soviets also have this, and it's being covered by a Maxim. It does not look like it's going that good for Loki. But Loki is taking back up. It's interesting how quickly the battlefield has shifted, isn't it? And the veterans are not going to survive out there under machine gun fire. He needs to get them back. That's an expensive unit to lose. We have propaganda artillery coming in to try and slow down the Soviets. And looking at the German setup, he does not have much. He doesn't even have a lot of manpower left. We have a 6-3 setup here. Good position too. It can cover a lot of ground. I wonder what the Germans are gonna try to do.
The static post
He's
is
obviously
now
trying
in
to
operation.
replenish his veterans first of all. And moving out in a position like that is suicide, I'd say. He is trying to get rid of that MG though, I think. He's rushing up to try and throw a brand flasher. But a little too late. As the Soviet machine gun can actually move very quickly because it's on wheels. The Stormtroopers are trying to push up though. But I think it's a little too late. The machine gun can start opening fire now. And the Stormtroopers are being targeted almost immediately. I believe that might be that Stormtrooper squad. No, he might actually get out of there. Thanks to that brave grenade from the Volksturm, giving them time. Veterans are coming back to the field. Ooh. Lucky's not doing too well at all. And look at all these conscripts coming in from Cringe. He's just gonna overman him. Look at the population difference too. There's like no... Ooh, I wonder what Lucky's gonna do to even stay in this. Here comes the Soviet wave. Far too much here for them to fight. Good job with the 8cm right there, and a grenade in. Good attempt with the grenade assault, but they're now in range of the flak and the 8cm. Oh, which is killing a lot of them. But it's down, there's a Fonsoviki waiting. The veterans don't have a grenade. They could throw a blink hopper. And he's throwing a normal hand grenade. Oh, the MG42 actually worked. Good job with the veterans there, though. They are very good troops. They are glass cannons, though, like most good infantry. But a man is still a man, despite how veteran he is. One rifle bullet to the chest, and then down he goes. Lucky really needs to get some full replenishment going on here. He is trying to take up fully. He might be aiming for a tank to try and turn this around. But Cringe just has so much territory, but he has not taken up either. Unless he might be planning on it now. Who knows? Yeah, he might be planning on it with the Sappers. Yeah, he's going for a tech up to tier 3. Probably trying to get a T-34 or something. But Lucky is still holding on despite it all. Replenishing his troops. I wonder what he's going to arm the Stormtroopers with next. Perhaps MP44s if he gets the resources for it. Bit more smoke coming in, I think. We have another conscript assault preparing. It does look like French knows how to do his Soviet infantry pushes. Smoking and then ordering the conscripts in. But that is a very bad position to come into. That's a lot of grenades though. But the veterans are in a good position. Because once the smoke clears, they'll just start cutting them down. So I'd say Lucky did good holding that off. He needs to get these people up though. Artillery coming in for the CIS-3, aiming for the German base. Now let us see what Lucky is gonna get now that he has access to vehicles. He might go for a Gauleiter. Gauleiter, that's what it's called. I'm surprised he has not gone for the Hauptsturmführer. Ah yeah, he's gonna go for Panzer IV Kampfwagen J. Okay, that might help because I do not think the Soviets have a lot of AT equipment apart from that single CIS-3 currently. So a Panzer IV J might be a little bit of a surprise. When the Stormführer is trying to go down here, but they're being spotted by the Maxim. The Maxim could turn around and attack. Now, he could have thrown the fake barrage on it, but he's not doing it. He's trying to catch up to it. But the squad is a big squad, and there's a Fonsoviki in the back here. That's suicide at this point. Don't move up there, Lucky. You're being baited. Oh, and yeah, the Volksturm got mowed down. But here we have the Panzer IV J. Let's see if this can give Lucky some leeway to get back. It looks like every single Volksturm squad apart from the Panzerjägers are gone. Oh, Oh, that is not a good sign for him. He needs to get some replacement infantry. And he's getting more stormtroopers. Looks like we're gonna have a stormtrooper attachment going on here. That's something you see every day, that people start to rely on stormtroopers. I see people generally use storm grenadiers, because storm grenadiers are good at all ranges and can be equipped really well. I would perhaps personally have gone for storm grenadiers, but that's just my own personal preference. So Sapper's trying to push up. He needs to stop that and start opening fire. And then you can see how quickly they mowed him down. That's what those grenadiers are capable of. We have another conscript force coming in. Oh no, he's trying to turn the tank around. That might put it in range of the Mthis. He's spading him again. We have more grenades coming in at the truck. But right into the flak. See, now that is a lot of firepower coming in right there. You probably go up here, go in this direction with this Panzer IV, because not much can stop it. You actually see the Panzerjägers trying to sneak up now. He needs to stop firing with that flag. Stormtroopers are moving up towards the fuel down here. And we have a T-34 coming out in the field. I could actually fight the GA if he gets the first good penetrating shot off. And the Panzerjägers open fire, which is probably not something they should have done. Germans are slowly trying to secure some territory again. You have another machine gun coming in from the Soviets. The Mthis is relocating. With the T-34 and some conscripts trying to push up. But there's going to be a lot of crossfire here. The Panzerjäger's going to capture the territory. He needs actual infantry to do that. Oh, the Soviets are preparing to push the Germans back here.
Ready for action.
We have more mines being laid, because he anticipates what's going to happen here. But we're going to have a few mortars shelling this area. Oh, he's using flares with them, smart. We have the Understurmfeuer coming up again. T-34 is pushing up, probably to try and fire a high explosive shot. Yeah, he's firing a high explosive on the stormtroopers. Oh, it hit! But the Panzer IV got a penetrating shot on the T-34. That's gonna force the T-34 to pull back. But the Mthis-3 is still present. You also have a tank hunter squad coming in for the Soviets. And still no commander pick. I do wonder what Cringe is planning. Oh, coming straight at the this Understurmfeuer, but he is armed with MP40s. That's grenades coming in on him though. But he'll be able to hold, thanks to the veterans being present now. Now the Germans do have a little bit of fueling coming in, and we have a second Panzer IV coming out. Looks like luck he might be able to pull this back if he's doing a good job, and if he is lucky. He's also getting some extra Volksturm out, just to have some men on the field, I imagine. I do wonder why Cringe hasn't picked a commander, though.
Ready for action.
Or if he's just trying to prove something that he doesn't need to pick a commander.
Grenadier, ready for action.
Perhaps he waits to a very specific moment to pick one. Yes. We have another stormtrooper trooper placed here. We have some barbed wire placed there. Yeah, he's trying to dig in heavily.
Grenadier are on the line.
Panzerjägers are sneaking up. They are on hold fire now, so they can serve as recon. Problem is, the Soviet tank hunter spotted him. Oh, it might have been the flare that spotted him. That's the direction. Oh, only killing one man though. That's lucky. He was definitely trying to snipe it somewhat. Those conscripts are gonna get mowed down. But now he also knows there's 2 Panzer IV Js. I think Quint has to make a decision now for a commander before Lucky gets even more Panzer IVs or another kind of vehicle to support. So Germans might try to go for this point over here if they can get the Panzer IV moving. As the Panzer IVs will allow him to get a more presence on the field here. EPM is still doing a good job though. Clone just moving down here probably to hold this area. Oh, Panzer IV has been armed with skirts. Might be preparing to take this side. More mortar coming in, looks like smoke. Oh, he gets too close, he's on a throw grenade! Oh, he didn't kill it though. The mines work too. That might be dead for Toviki. It is. But they killed the Panzerjägers. But now the Panzer IV is still alive though. Quint is still having the upper hand though, but he has not gotten it. He's not picked the commander yet, and he has full fuel. He picked the commander, I think. He went for motorized, and he's getting a Sherman already, an Emcha. That was pretty quick. Looks like the Untersturmführer has been armed with the Panzerbüchse. Veterans are preparing to move now. They've been armed with the Gewehr 43 with scopes alongside the LMG 42. The Soviet Air Force is flying over the battlefields. Let's see what the Soviets are prepared to do here. Right into minefields. He's doing a close the pocket. That's gonna end all this, which apparently targets mines. Huh. I would say that was a little bit of a wasted one. Because there's really not really much here to be hit. As long as he does not enter the earths that are cut off. Yeah, that did not really do that much to the Germans. As Uria's already taken back. We have another MT coming. We can actually not see any units on the minimap. He might have enabled radio silence, yeah. So all his troops are not appearing on the minimap. There's a lot of stormtroopers though. But here's the Emcha. The Lend-Lease Sherman for the Soviets. I believe it was actually called the Emcha. Because it's called M4C. And supposedly because the what's it called? The hatches on the top look like Mickey Mouse. Or something. That's at least the story I've been told. Might be false. You have another Emcha coming in alongside a Katusha. Looks like the Germans are not going to be in for a good time. But they've surprisingly gotten a little bit of a comeback up here. Thanks to the Panzer IV and the Untersturmführer. The veterans also still... Oh, that's some new veterans, I think. Yeah. They're being armed with MP44s with scopes. The Volksturm here are not going to last long. I guess the Maxim setting up like that. Veterans are slowly trying to push up here to just try and kill the MG. Panzer IV is fighting an Emcha. It looks like the Emcha might be winning that engagement. Oh, they're very, very close. But the Panzer IV is immobilized, which is going to allow these Fontoviki to come up. They're running straight into machine gun fire. Oh, the machine gun smoked them down. Very good job with the Panzer IV there.
What are your orders?
Stormtroopers also doing a good job supporting the vehicles here. Oh, you have to watch what that Katyusha does. Looks like Cringe is losing more troops though. Katyusha's firing right at this tank.
Send orders.
Ooh, it wants to get rid of the tank. Oh, a good shot at the Panzer IV, immobilizing it.
Ready.
All he needs is one more rocket. But no, the Panzer IV is still operational. We have another Panzer IV J here.
Send orders.
We have we have a Panzer IV Kampfgruppe in position to support the Volkssturm and the SS. We have more Storm Pioneers in the field, and we have more MCAS coming in for the Soviets. A Panzer IV GA is still holding,
Ready.
despite being immobilized. Another Panzer IV is moving. Those tank hunters might get close enough to do a Panzerfaust.
Under fire.
Yep, they're using a stolen Panzerfaust on it.
Dismount now. A medium tank.
Desperate trying to repair the veteran Panzer IV. Here we have more MCAS, but he needs someone to repair them. He has no sappers. You could probably upgrade the repair station on the main base if he wants to. That might help. Panzer IV is almost repaired.
Send orders. Panzer IV.
Ooh, this battle has turned back and forth a lot. I like it. Lucky's making a comeback and everything. That's really good to see. There, the DPM. Oh, he's not gonna grab the DPM with the Volkssturm though. That's fair. Looks like the veteran's opening fire on this Fonzoviki. The Fonzoviki is gonna get behind cover. Well, that does not look like it's gonna deter the veterans, who takes very careful aim with their scoped MP44s. Mowing them down. That's what those guys are capable of. Volkssturm and Stormtroopers fighting up here. Axum coming up. Good job with Lucky fighting back from this bad position, in all honesty. I'm surprised he was able to do it. He set up a truck here for repairs. Okay. Of course that makes sense. He's taking back the territory here.
Ready for action. Send orders.
Let's see what Lucky is going to do to turn this battle around if he can keep fighting.
Waffe reports. Fallschirmjäger ready for deployment.
The Maxim is pinning down the Stormtroopers. Ooh, what's gonna happen? I'm kinda anxious. What's gonna be the final straw that breaks either side here is the question. Because now, Grinch has enough for full-on assault here, I think, with the tanks. Although he lacks infantry, he only has 2 conscripts. He's laying more mines. He's preparing for the Soviet push. There's some flares coming over, revealing the position to the Soviets. And now the MCAS are moving. Right, preparing a high explosive for the veterans. Ooh, missing just missing. Oh, now that's not good for the Germans. This is a big Allied push coming. The Soviets are coming in. The MCAS are getting too close. He's not going to be able to stop them. The MCAS are pushing into the German base.
A medium tank was destroyed.
Yeah, I think at this point it's over. I don't think Lucky can hold the line anymore. Well, he did destroy that T-34. Now the Katyusha is firing. And the MCAS are really proving they're deadly here. Yeah, I think this is the end of Lucky. A good comeback from Lucky, but he was not aggressive enough when he actually got the tanks. That allowed the Grinch to just build up. And MTS are proving too much of an onslaught.
Infantry group are lost.
Going through the German sea and allowing the Soviets to move further into Germany. A very good game for both parties, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you all in the next one, everyone. Bye bye!